everyone, so today I have an unboxing that I am super excited about. As I'm sure you can tell by this logo on the package, this is a little bit different than the kind of stuff I usually unbox on my channel. This is not a K-pop album release. This is from a Canadian metal band that I really love called SUMO CYCO. And I'm doing an unboxing of this because they really went all out with the packaging of this album. You'll see what I mean when I open this up. And they are a more underrated band, so I'm not sure if anyone else will do unboxings. And I know some of the items that I ordered actually completely sold out. So if there's any fans of the band who would like to see what those look like, even though they won't get a chance to purchase them for themselves, this video can provide that for you. And it might encourage you to buy some of the stuff that isn't sold out if you're interested in it. I did super zoom in on the package, so you can't see the part that has my address on it. The actual package is much bigger. And right away, before I even open it, you can see one of the things that I really like about this band is their attention to detail and theming, because even their little address label is super themed. It says, "Special delivery from Psycho City," which is the fictional world that all of their music videos take place in. It also has one of the 4 different club logos from this album. You'll see more about that when I open this package up. I am going to try to be kind of informative with this unboxing, so if you don't want to hear me talking, feel free to mute this and speed it up. SUMO CYCO are a band that have been around for 10 years now. They launched the project in March of 2011. That is insane to me because I have been following the band the entire time. And the reason for that is because the band's lead singer, Sky Sweetnam, used to be what some people would call a teen pop sensation back in her teenage years. She had a couple singles that were played on like the Disney Channel and Radio Disney a lot. Tangled Up in Me or Billy S are the ones a lot of people know. And she also had an excellent sophomore album that was not released in the States where I live. It only came out in like Japan and Canada, I think. Very, very limited because of label issues. That album was one of the first albums I ever imported. It absolutely helped open a world of international music to me. Now I buy CDs from overseas literally all the time. And it also opened my eyes to a lot of different genres. It's funny because Sky's early music does get classified as like teen pop, but there very much was a rock influence evident very early on. On her first album, she was compared to Avril Lavigne a lot because they were both Canadian. They both had a little bit of that pop rock sound. But on her second album, which was called Sound Soldier, honestly, some of the instrumentals do have metal elements with the way that the drums are. It's very, very, very pop with just like a suggestion of metal. And then there's like some more electronic, a little bit of an R&B groove to some of it, some ska songs on that album. And those are all sounds that are very evident in SUMO CYCO's work as a band. They get summed up as metal, but they have a lot of really pop, catchy hooks and a lot of other genre influences that are part of why I enjoyed their music so much, because I really, really like eclectic music like that. And one of the first really eclectic albums that I remember listening to was Sky's sophomore album, Sound Soldier. Long story short, I've been following this band for 10 years. I've watched them grow from just digital singles that got barely any views, their most viewed video being a viral thing where Sky got hit in the head with a ceiling fan. People didn't even know the music, they just knew the ceiling fan video. And then they started booking tours as an opening act for more well-known bands in the scene. Started to garner a positive reception from that because they put on a really great live show. I was really lucky enough to see them. They were my last concert that I saw before COVID hit, so not super happy about what happened after, but was super glad I finally got to see them before that all went down. Crowdfunded their first 2 album releases. They were working on crowdfunding this one when they actually got signed to Napalm Records, and that, along with everything else that happened last year, kind of delayed the album coming out. They initially put up pre-orders for this, and I think first put out a single from this back in 2019. I actually did not end up pre-ordering during that initial period because in that year I was prioritizing going to shows. Like, for example, I went to see SUMO CYCO live. Had I known those initial pre-order links would get yoinked because of the record label signing, I definitely would have pre-ordered back then, but as soon as the new pre-order launched, I immediately pre-ordered not the most expensive package because it didn't have everything that I wanted in it, but what amounted to a smaller version of that package. I did also get a vinyl edition of the album, but that is not in this package because I ordered the vinyl separately through the Napalm store. Napalm offered an exclusive version of the vinyl, which came with a bonus 7-inch containing 2 additional bonus tracks, and then the band offers a different color variant of the vinyl on their store. The normal CD version of the album is available on their web store, but I think it's also been pushed to some retailers as well. I saw over in Europe, I think you can get it at places like HMV, and I was surprised to see that the album is actually available on Target.com in the US. So I ended up ordering actually another copy of that through there because I hadn't ordered the standard CD version when placing my initial order. What I got was the photobook version of the album. If you've seen any of my other videos on this channel, you know I'm a huge K-pop fan. I love albums with photobooks. That's like, I have been wishing that more Western artists would start doing things like that for basically as long as I've been into K-pop. So the fact that my favorite metal band of all artists were the first artists that I followed to do something like that was insanely exciting for me personally. That version of the album is now unfortunately sold out because even though they do have major label backing now, they still do pretty much all of that stuff themselves. So they had to do a very limited run based on the amount of pre-orders they got. The little they had left over after pre-orders sold out on album release day. And that is another thing that I want to shout them out for because they have been packing and shipping all of these orders themselves. If you don't really know much about the band and just kind of found out about them through Napalm, you probably won't know that they are extremely DIY. The band's singer, Sky, and guitarist, Matt Drake, do pretty much everything themselves out of their home in Canada. So when they got all the merch ordered, they got it shipped to their house, packed it up themselves, and sent it out themselves as well. When I placed my order, I opted for the cheapest shipping option because that's what I usually do. I don't mind if it's not tracked. I don't mind waiting a little bit for it because I know it'll get here sooner or later anyway. But Sky was talking about it on a live stream the band did, that for these pre-order bundles, a lot of those orders that didn't have tracking, she actually upgraded to tracking, and like they eat the cost of that themselves pretty much, which is not a thing that they have to do by any means. I was fully expecting to have to wait a couple weeks to get this, but my order shipped out, I think it was the Monday before the album came out. It came out on Friday, May 7th, and I got it on Saturday, May 8th. I got my order the day after the album came out because of the upgraded shipping. Totally did not ask them to do that. Totally did not expect them to do that. That was such an unexpected surprise, and that, like, going above and beyond like that is one of the many reasons I am so happy to be a fan of this band and so happy to have supported them for so many years and will keep supporting them basically as long as they keep doing this, because the music has never let me down and they're really awesome people on top of that. Well, to be perfectly honest with you, this is not what I expected to find inside that yellow mailer. We have a flat envelope mailer inside of that, which honestly, looking at this makes me wonder if they might have given me another kind of upgrade with my order. Because some of the things I ordered were supposed to come with posters, and I opted for the cheaper version with folded posters. But this makes me wonder if they might not be unfolded after all. And if they are, again, I'm just gonna say that's another example of them going absolutely above and beyond when they did not have to, and I did not ask them to. I would be totally fine with folded posters, and I will be totally fine if I'm completely wrong and these are still folded after all. I just looked inside this and I'm like honestly speechless right now because, yeah, they're unfolded. Like I said, I was completely fine with getting folded posters. That's why I ordered those options. The extra benefits that came with the more expensive package, I didn't feel like I needed them. Like, I was fine getting the cheaper one and getting the posters folded. But I guess because I got all 4 of the versions that were supposed to come with posters, they upgraded the packaging for me without me asking about it, without me paying anything extra. And then on top of that, they upgraded my shipping method to tracked, even though I didn't pay for that either, and I know international shipping is crazy expensive, especially right now. It's these little things, really, that just continuously show me why this band is the coolest, really. So the first thing I'm going to show you is the album itself, like the traditional CD album. This is the special photobook version. I don't have the normal CD size digipack to show you, but actually let me get one of their older albums so we can compare the sizes. For size comparison, that is their first album, Lost in Psycho City, and you can see the photobook is quite a bit bigger than a traditional CD. When I pre-ordered it, they obviously didn't have a lot of detailed mock-ups, they just had the basic information on the items. So I was honestly expecting this to be about CD sized, maybe a little bit bigger. So I'm super excited to look through that. We're going to save that for last, actually, though. And you can see it's sealed in this plastic wrap, and in the plastic wrap I have the rest of the goodies besides the posters, which we're going to take a look at in a minute. And then I'll take a closer look at this after I look at the posters, but you can kind of see there's a bunch of different items loose in there, and that is most of the exclusive stuff from the 4 bundles I ordered. And the concept of this album is basically based around 4 clubs or gangs in Psycho City. There were different packages themed to each of those clubs. The original idea was for each of those packages to come with an exclusive bonus track featured on a USB along with extra video content also relating to those clubs. After they signed with Napalm, I think there was some legal red tape with the label that prevented them from actually doing that. They changed the wording on the website when those bundles went back up and removed the word exclusive, but it did still have the word bonus track. I'm going to be honest, I was under the impression that those bundles would still come with the exclusive songs, and that was part of why I bought them. I am really interested in the extra video content too, and the USBs ended up looking really, really cool, so I'm excited to have them just as collectibles too. Definitely don't regret my purchase in any way, shape, or form, but that is something to be aware of if that was the package you purchased. Now, I did actually reach out to the band through email just to clarify that and make sure I understood everything correctly, because there was a little bit of confusion about the bonus track issue. If you did pre-order during the initial sales period before they signed with Napalm, you should be getting sent those bonus tracks to your email at some point in the future. Again, I would contact them directly if you want more information about that, because I don't know, because I didn't pre-order during that period. But if, like me, you didn't pre-order until after the packages went back up, after the record deal, you do still get a bonus track, but it is the same bonus track that's available on all physical editions of the album. It's just not available digitally. And that file is on the USB along with the 11 standard album tracks. And again, I know that's due to record label red tape stuff. It's not totally in their control. When I reached out about it, Sky did say that they are looking into ways with the label where they can hopefully get the songs out for everyone to be able to maybe purchase digitally in the future. And I guess this serves as a warning to me that if I want something, I should not wait to pre-order it from now on. I should go ahead as soon as I have the money, because that same item that I want will not stay available forever. And like I said, I did get the cheaper of the bundle options. My main reason for purchasing them was the USBs, which were included in both versions. The more expensive versions also came with, I believe it was a t-shirt and an enamel pin for each club. And then the other item that those bundles came with are double-sided posters with artwork from the album photo shoot. I say photo shoot, I'm sure there were multiple photo shoots done for this with how conceptual everything is. And I did actually already see what these posters look like when they put up the items to purchase individually after the album came out. They had the images of the posters, and I could not resist spoiling myself and taking a sneak peek. So each one has a photo of the band on one side and then a photo of the characters in the album story on the other one. So this is the first one, which is themed to the club Malice Company. Again, we have a photo of the full band and also each of their signatures. So from left to right here, we have the guitarist and producer and co-writer of all the songs, Matt Drake, lead vocalist and co-writer of all the songs, Sky Sweetnam, or Sever is her stage name in the band, but she goes by both pretty interchangeably these days. Earlier on, she used the stage name more to try and separate herself more from the earlier pop music, but these days I don't think many people are drawing the comparison, so it's not needed as much. And then we have the bassist, Oscar Ansetti, and drummer, Matt Trozzi. And then on the back, like I said, it's going to be the characters from the world of the music videos. And some of the clubs have been featured heavily in the music videos that they've released for this album so far, but Malice Company is one that hasn't really. And I'm gonna guess the reason for that is probably COVID related, because as we can see here, the only character I'm pretty sure that's played by a member of the band is Sky. The kids obviously are not any of the band members, and I don't think that the man is one of the band members, but they use a lot of prosthetics, so I don't want to say that 100%. But we can see the logo here, which is the same logo on the outside of my package, and there's also a little bit of text explaining, I guess, a little bit of the storyline. Behold the golden rulers who play Psycho City like chess masters. Mrs. Goldie and Richard Malice created an empire to keep power and control, which is the name of one of the songs on the album. They're always watching you, but who's watching them? So obviously this is meant to be a takeoff of basically rich people in a position of power, whether that's politicians or socialites or whatever. I'm very interested in hopefully learning more about the storyline through the photo book and videos on the USBs. The concept of this album is so creative, and it's a shame that the pandemic obviously changed the plans of being able to have other people in their music videos playing more of these characters. But at least the photo book and a lot of that was already shot before then, because they'd been working on this album for so long. And then the next club is the Anonymous 9. And this is the band photo for this one. As you can tell, it is kind of sports themed. They're dressed up like they're watching a major sporting event. You've got like typical stadium snacks like popcorn, hot dogs. Like I said, I love seeing how all of the different themes are incorporated. And again, every single one of these posters is signed, so that's pretty cool. And then on the back, we have the character poster. Can you find these teammates tailgating in parking lots, guzzling SUMO soda? They're better at causing trouble than winning on the field, probably because it's never the same 9 at any time. And this group of characters was featured heavily in their music video for Run with the Giants, which was the second of the album singles released prior to the Napalm signing. So at least they got to do, you know, a couple videos with kind of the original vision. The next one is for the Assassiners, and this is a pretty cool poster. This reminds me a lot of like some of the earlier days of the band. Very early on, they were very inspired by like cheesy horror movies, like really low-grade CDE horror movies. And so there was a lot of like horror imagery. While it's definitely still there to an extent, has phased out a bit as they've gotten more conceptual with the Psycho City idea and like more like kind of lore-based stuff. So this feels like a nice little throwback to that. I feel like there's one of two ways you can look at this poster. Either they're buried alive or they're dead. And they're both pretty grim. But that's the fun of it, really. And then on the back, we have some of the characters. These characters with the skull faces are what is known in the SUMO CYCO lore as Terrornauts. And that is a character that has been around since the early days, one of their early digital singles, Danger. That was the first time a Terrornaut appeared. And they've kind of had an evolution over the years, and I believe Sky mentioned that one of the videos on the USB for this club kind of talks a little bit more about that evolution, so I'm excited to see that. And then again, we have the logo, and the text on this one says, "Rumor has it there's a mysterious society of Terrornauts who operate under complete secrecy. They live with one foot in the grave. Needless to say, you wouldn't want to have your name on their list." And again, these characters have also been in the music videos. The blue character specifically was in the music video for Love You Wrong. And then while not these exact characters, there have been other Terrornaut characters. There's one in No Surrender, and then their most recent music video, Bad News, is about a family of Terrornauts, which is really fun. I definitely recommend checking that one out if you haven't, if you want an idea of just how crazy and creative their videos can be. Because it's honestly not like anything else I've ever seen. In a good way. And then finally, last but not least, we have the club that I personally am the most excited about because I'm kind of basic. I like the color pink. And this one is the pink themed one. This is for the Not Sorry Sorority, and as you can see, the band photo has kind of a sorority frat house party kind of vibe, with like Matt passed out asleep and the rest of them like drinking and having fun. Very cute. And then on the back, we have the club members, and again, this club as a whole was heavily featured in Run with the Giants. The concept of that music video was basically Anonymous 9 and Not Sorry Sorority kind of facing off against each other, and then like I guess you say the protagonist of this club, which is the character Glory, which is the one played by Sky, was also in the Love You Wrong music video. And again, I love the logo for this one with the heart made of chains with the padlock. I love all the logos, but like I said, this one is my personal favorite. The words for this one are, "N.S.S. sisters are active in Psycho City with all the issues. Tap heart," and that's the heart symbol for these social media socialites. "Though if you mess with one, you mess with them all. They may not be sorry, but you will." So definitely kind of we may look sweet, but we will bite. And now that we've seen all the posters, it's time to take a look at all the other goodies that came in those bundles. So the first thing in there is a nice little promo card. SUMO CYCO new album initiation out now. And I have like a little collection of these at this point from how many times I've ordered from their online store. And on the back we have some of the art from the album cover, and it also has a discount code, which I am not showing you. You can't cheat. If you want this discount code, should have pre-ordered the album. Okay, so I'm going to show you everything based on what they are, not what club package they belong to. So the first thing we have here is this Terrornaut sticker, which honestly I don't know if it came with one of the packages or if it was just a bonus item. Gonna be honest, I don't remember everything these were supposed to come with off the top of my head. Because there's only one, I think that might be a bonus thing. But we do also have 4 logo stickers, and because these are in the club colors, I'm assuming these came with the packages. So we have the black and gold for Malice Company, black and purple for the Assassiners, pink and black for the Not Sorry Sorority, and then red and black for the Anonymous 9. And then you also get a patch for each club as well. And I don't think these are iron-on. I think you have to sew them. These would be super fun for like a DIY. I'm not super creative in that department, so I don't know what exactly I'm going to be doing with these yet, but they are really cute just to like, honestly, even if I just keep them to look at. But yeah, they all say SUMO CYCO, and then the name of the club, and then the club logo. So this one is Malice Company. Assassiners, Not Sorry Sorority, and Anonymous 9. And when they were doing the really early pre-order information, these logos were like pretty much all we had to go off of was just the logos and the color schemes. That was how you had to make a decision on which version of the album you wanted to buy, unless you were like me and you bought them all. And then the next thing is the USBs. I'm gonna show these one at a time because they're all different and they're super fascinating to me. I've never owned something quite like this before. Because when they said USBs, I was expecting more like a typical USB drive that you can pick up at the store, maybe just like in the club colors or like with the logo on it or something, but these are really cool collectibles. So as you can see, they're more like a card design, like a really thick card. You can see the actual USB component there. The one from Malice Company is made to look like a credit card for Goldie Malice. Just the attention to detail on these is so cool. When they put up the product previews that showed what these actually looked like, I just got a million times more excited to get them because I did not think these would look as cool as they do. Their minds are just truly amazing. Now on the back we can see it says SUMO CYCO Initiation, and then Goldie's signature, and then we have the track listing here, which, yeah, what is actually on the USB is the 11 standard songs from the album and then the bonus track Awakened, which is on all physical copies of the album. It's not currently available digitally. The actual USB component, it pops out somehow. Okay, it's not that hard. You like flip it forward like that. Wow. That's super fascinating. And it can completely pop out, but I would be way too scared of losing that. That's so cool. Their minds, again, just truly, truly so creative. The rest of mine are sealed in plastic sleeves, so I'm actually going to leave these in there for now until I can get a look at the content on them myself. But this is the one for the Assassiners, and it is made to look like a toe tag for a dead body. Which, again, so grim, but, I mean, what's metal music without a little bit of grimness to it, right? And as you can see, this is from the Psycho City Morgue. It says the name of deceased, Tragic T. Bones, which is the blue Terrornaut, as in the Love You Wrong music video. Cause of death, homicide. Wow, that's a little dark. Date of death, May 7th, 2019, which, fun fact, is the date that the Love You Wrong music video premiered, but it's also 2 years to the day before this album was released. Kind of a fun detail. Time of death, 12:11 a.m. Place of death, Crowellville, Psycho City. And then the back of this one just has the logo and the track listing. Then the Anonymous 9 one, which as far as I know is the only one that is currently sold out. The other 3 were also available to purchase last I looked, but that may have changed since then. And this one is made to look like a baseball card. It says Team Anonymous 9, Player Unknown, Player number 9. They're all number 9. That's kind of the shtick. And again, the back of this one just has the track list. And finally, for the Not Sorry Sorority, this one is designed to look like a student ID card for Psycho City University for Glory Malice. An interesting detail, because this reveals that Glory is actually the daughter of Goldie from Malice Company, which makes me wonder if the little girl in the Malice Company photo poster is supposed to be a young Glory. That might be delved into on the videos on this USB. I have no idea. I obviously have not watched them yet, but I'm super excited to find out. And we've got the ID barcode and number. It was really funny because the ID number starts with WTF are you? Like, who the f are you? And then Not Sorry Sorority. Then like an ID photo of Glory and her signature. And on the back is just the album stuff. So very interesting that the only one that had like extra stuff on the back was Goldie's credit card. And then finally, last but not least, we have the thing I am most excited for, the album Photobook. The K-poppy in me is rejoicing right now. So yeah, the front obviously is the front cover of the album, which looks so much cooler in person. Like, it's already cool digitally, but actually seeing it on something physical in front of you just makes it even more cool. And then on the spine says SUMO CYCO Initiation, and we have the logos for the 4 different clubs. Super cool. And then on the back, very interesting. I wonder if they just made a mock-up for the vinyl and then used it for the CD as well. I'm very curious to see if the normal CD version is like this also, because it's set up with a side 1 and a side 2, like the vinyl, but obviously CDs don't have side 1 and side 2. I haven't heard Awakened yet. I haven't heard the physical only bonus track, because I've just been streaming it on Apple Music while waiting for my copies to arrive. The first 11 songs, I can say every single song is fantastic. Like, I had a few initial favorites on my first listen. Like, I knew all the singles were good, because I'd listened to all of those already. And then there were a couple songs that stood out to me on the first listen. But even as I listened to it more times yesterday, the songs that stood out the most to me changed. Like, there's stuff that I really, really like sonically and lyrically about every single song. If you haven't heard it yet, and I'm not totally sure why you're watching this video if you haven't heard it, but I highly recommend it, because I feel like there's a little bit of something for everyone. No Surrender, for example, is a more straightforward rock song, so if you like that kind of music, that might be a good starting place for you. And then songs like Vertigo and Overdrive are a little more pop driven, and I'd recommend starting with those if you prefer maybe pop rock. The full track listing is Love You Wrong, Bystander, Vertigo, Bad News, No Surrender, MIA, Cyclone, Run with the Giants, Overdrive, Power and Control, This Dance is Doomed, and then the physical bonus track, Awakened. I could have said this when I was looking at the USBs. I now realize, but I didn't. And then inside, we get our first look at the actual design of the album. So we've got, like, this front page, which doesn't have any, like, band photos or anything yet, but it has this really cool pattern with like the symbols for each of the clubs, not like the logos, but in the music video for Vertigo there is like a little box with all of these items in it, and as the video goes on, Sky like tries each of these items and like gets a makeover like to look like each of the different clubs. It's a really cool video, and I know Vertigo is like the single that they're pushing for this album, so if you haven't seen the video yet, you should go watch it as soon as you're done watching this, because it's really cool. And I feel like it's very accessible for people who aren't familiar with SUMO CYCO, because as much as I love something like Bad News, I can definitely see how if that's your first impression, it could be a little off-putting for some people. Like, not everyone is gonna love a video like Bad News as much as I adore it. Much as I adore the weird stuff. Oh, wow! Oh, I did not know this was going to be signed, too. Aww. Like I said, they just go above and beyond. They really do. So, we have a handwritten thank you. I'm assuming that's from Sky, because I think she handles a lot of the creative stuff with the band. And then all 4 of their signatures again. That's so awesome. And I love that it's, like, on the page too, and not on the cover. As much as it would have looked cool on the cover, the K-poppy in me is showing, but it reminds me of like when you go to a fan sign, or you get a fan sign album, and they'll sign on the pages in the photo book rather than on the cover of the album. Any SUMO CYCO fans watching this who don't know anything about K-pop are watching this right now like, what the heck is she talking about? I know what I'm talking about, and it's my channel, so that's why I'm referencing it. But yeah, here is basically what I was talking about from the Vertigo video. The box with the 4 different items in it, and it says SUMO CYCO Initiation, Pick Your Poison. Oh, there is more text in the photo book. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, you know what? I wonder if the stuff from the posters is gonna be in here too, and I've just spoiled it. But I'm already, like, I'm on page 1, and I'm already in love with this photo book idea. It's so cool. I'm really happy they were able to put this together. You can see here we have the lyrics for track 1, which is Love You Wrong. And then the writing credits, Drake, Sweet Numb. And then over here we see the protagonists of this song, Tragic and Glory. And then a little blurb about them. It says, 2 lovers in a world gone mad, fighting for each other with everything they had. How did it all become such a mess? Start at the end and then fill in the rest. And I love that it rhymes too, because it's like a little storybook. It's fun. I really like that. Okay, yeah, I accidentally flipped a little too far ahead. And yeah, the photos and the posters are going to be in here too, so I have unintentionally spoiled those for myself. But that's okay. So we have the lyrics for Bystander next. And as you can see, that is the band photo from the poster for the Malice Company bundle. Yeah, and then it's got the photo with the characters and the exact same description from the poster. And that's good too, because I was a little bit concerned with potentially displaying the posters. Like, if you accidentally mess up the art on the back, if you want to display the band photo part. But the art is in the photo book as well. And to clarify, the photo book did not come in any of the bundles I purchased. I believe the Collect 'em All bundle might have come with it, but that's not available anymore. None of the bundles are available anymore. You have to buy them all separately. But yeah, this was the item that I was most excited about when they first announced the album. So I knew that was something I wanted. And I'm so glad I pre-ordered it, because it's completely sold out now. And this was like the only preview photo that we got for the photo book version. We knew nothing about it, basically, other than we'd have a photo of this guy painted gold with blue hair. Almost like Marge Simpson, but not. It's way cooler. We've got the lyrics for Vertigo. Then we have the band photo from the Anonymous 9 bundle with the lyrics for Bad News and No Surrender. The Anonymous 9 concept photo. And then there's another photo of Sky in the Anonymous 9 outfit with the lyrics for MIA, Cyclone, and Run with the Giants. You've got the lyrics for Overdrive with the Not Sorry Sorority band photo, which is kind of fun because Overdrive was my initial favorite listening to the album, and Not Sorry Sorority is my favorite of the clubs. And then that group photo. And we've got the lyrics for Power and Control, and This Dance is Doomed. And we've got the Assassiners concept photo. So it looks like the layout is basically for each club you get the band photo, the character concept photo, and then the photo of Sky basically doing another look for that character. So that's pretty fun. And we've got the lyrics for Awaken, which, like I said, I have not heard yet. I'm super excited to hear that one. And then the Assassiners photo and the Assassiners band photo. And there's a really nice thank you, which I'm super excited to read through later. And then the proper credits for the album. And I will do a shout out here. All of the photography, artwork, and design is done by Francesca Ludicar, who is a good friend of the band's, who has been working with them creatively on like all of their art since day one. While she does not contribute to the musical aspect, for all intents and purposes might as well be a fifth member of the band because of like how important the visuals are to like SUMO CYCO as a band. And yeah, as I think I said before, Matt produced, recorded, and mixed pretty much the whole thing, except Vertigo and Overdrive were produced, mixed, and recorded by Kane Churkow. Very much DIY, do almost everything themselves, which you gotta admire a band who does stuff that way. And, you know how I said this was like a K-pop album? If you know how K-pop albums look, Literally, the CD in a sleeve at the back of the album is... Oh, that's how so many K-pop albums are packaged. And then that is what the CD itself looks like. This very cool swirled design. Overall, I am super happy to finally have this album in my hands. It has been so wonderful watching this band grow over the years, to see them go from a totally indie band that no one had ever heard of with like 2 songs to signing a label deal and like actually getting some traction. Like they were charting on multiple iTunes charts and like the rock and metal categories on album release day, and that is just so amazing, and I'm so happy for them, and I'm so happy that they were able to produce this really creative vision that they had for this album. But that is it for today's unboxing. I hope you enjoyed. If you'd like to see more unboxings like this one, let me know. I actually have a tour photo book of SUMO CYCOs that I could do an unboxing of if anyone's interested in that. I did also record their full set from when I saw them live in Atlanta last year, so I'll link that here as well. And if by any chance you also like K-pop, I have plenty unboxings of that kind of album on my channel, and feel free to subscribe if you would like to as well. Thank you so much for watching!